לחיים. לחיים, זה שפע ברכה. ברכה תנו מלכים רבים במזרנס. So Ashgacha Prat is just saying the Avinu Malkeinu. It's Chodesh KISLEV. You know, the Pashtus in the Gemara. That Rosh Hashanah is the Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. For the Beinanim is the Ksiva and the Chsima and the Gemara Chsima. Happens on Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. It says in Zohar Kodesh, the Zohar writes, yeah, really the Gemara Chsima is not on Yom Kippur. It's really Shana Rabbah. And then the Chassidische Svarim it says that really the Gemara Chsima is not a Shana Rabbah, it's Zois Chanukah. And the Gorger Chassidische Svarim say it's not Zois Chanukah, it's a Tzitzach. It goes throughout the whole year. What's Pshat? Because the world is a world where everything's exactly the way it should be. And it's a very Mesuded Oilama, it's Oilama in a very Mesudedic way. And your relationship to the Rebbeinu, your relationship to the Rebbeinu Shalom, your relationship to Hashem is, you do this is the cause and effect. You do this is what happens. You do the other thing, something happens. That's your relationship. That's one type of relationship. And when you're in such a relationship, so there's a Yemadin, and there's a Gemara Din. That's it. There's no other thing. Let's say you work for somebody, and the person says, if you work for me from 9 to 5, you're going to get paid $100. But 3 o'clock you quit. Middle of the day. So take up Yodal Yonah, you have to, because Avodim him Avodim Pi Halacha, you're not allowed to force a person to work. But you're not going to pay him the $100. You're going to say, okay, so now you worked the last 2 hours, so we'll calculate the amount and you'll get $80. That's the Pi Halacha. Al Pi Pnimius, if you have a deeper relationship. So if you have a deeper relationship, let's say you hired your son to work for you. That's a good idea, but let's say you did. And you pay him for 9 to 5, and your son, he shows up, Chassidish Gemadi shows up at 11:30 after, and then he takes a break for 2 hours. What are you going to do? You're not going to pay him? You say, fine, okay, I got it. You did the job, I'll pay him. So there's a little more flexibility. Understand? And the more you're connected to the person that you hired, the more flexible you are. So Pisod, Pnimius, the Gemara Chsima is not Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, it's Shana Rabbah, it's left to Shana Rabbah, don't worry. Didn't work Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. Through the Samachta B'Chagecha, you're going to be a little happy, you're going to show the Eibusher, your joy, okay, you have a good year. But the Chassidische Svarim saying, what if that didn't work? Don't worry. We're always in a good relationship, so we'll push it off a little further. We'll push it a little further. There's always, we know B'chlal that there's everybody knows, that there are two partsufim, there's two ways how there's Gilui Ponim, there's when the face is revealed, and then there's Hasta Ponim, the face is concealed. There's a Gilui and there's a Hasta. That's the way most people understand, right? Either the face is revealed. Kiponalai Orev means that you're not getting the face, you're getting the backside, which is the opposite. So either it's Ponim or it's a Hasta Ponim. But in Sifra Kabbalah it says that Be'emes is really 4 dargas. It's 4 levels. It's not just Ponim, it's not just face or backside. It's not Ponim or Orev. But there's an in-between. To get from Ponim to Acher, or Orev, to get from the front to the back, there's 2 dargas in between. One is called Yamin, and one is Smoil. So there's Ponim, there's the face, then there's the right side, then there's the left side, and then there's the Acher. It's 4 dargas, 4 separate dargas. So when a person has Hasta Ponim, the person feels that there's a Hester, things are not working out in their life. They feel that kaviyachol there's hastara. You know what hastara is? Everyone knows what hastara is. I don't have to explain what hastara is. But hastara means it's blockage. It's not knocking. It's not correct. Doesn't feel right. It feels like it feels like you have the other side. You ever? I don't know. This is a mashal, but it's if you ever felt a carpet, it's a real mashal. You ever felt a carpet on the other side of the carpet? You know, like you can make out look where the piece. I don't know. It's a carpet. Let's say a tapestry. So you can make out where the other side is. Where the what's a better? There's got to be a better mashal for this. This is an old mashal. But you're making out and you feel, oh, here's this. I don't see it. But I can understand it. This is the ocher of the ponim. There's a ponim. I'm not really sure what exactly here, but if I can make out what's going on. Which means when your life is be'erech, it's almost working out, but it's not. Or then there's a bigger hasta. There's deeper hastaras, deeper levels of concealment. But then there's yamin and small. There's right side and left side. So you would think that the right side is ponim. What's that right side? The right side is chesed. So when the Eibush is showing you chsadim, when you're feeling the chasdei Hashem, you're feeling Hashem's kindness. So the churim, you're feeling Hashem's kindness, that's ponim. It doesn't say that. When you're feeling the left side, that's gevura. That's feeling constriction. But then there's something that's worse than gevura. What's worse than gevura? Acher. Backside. There's ponim, which is the highest madrega. There's the right side, there's the left side, and there's the back side. The right side and the left side, what does it mean the right side and the left side? The right side and left side means sometimes we feel that the Eibush is giving us, the Eibush is giving us kindness. And we're grateful, we're thankful for whatever we have, for our health, for our children, for gezun, for nachas, whatever we have in our life, and we're grateful for it. This is chasdei Hashem. We feel the chesed. Feel the oyer chesed. Feel the Eibush's chesed. And sometimes, either we feel that it's oyer gvura. We feel like we're getting patched. Chas v'shalom, you're not getting patched, but you feel like the experience is you're feeling like something's like why? Why me? Like, what did I do? What did I deserve this? And usually people go into this little guilt, and I probably did something, and all these things you learn in yeshiva comes up, and the Rebbe is smacking you. So it's like gevura, like why is this happening? There's something worse than gevura. There's something even worse than gevura. You know what's worse than gevura? I stop feeling b'chol. If I feel the Eibush is talking to me, and it's chsadim, it's beautiful. Even if it's gevura, at least it's the Eibush talking. But then the hasta ponim is, what's hasta ponim? Hasta ponim means when it's concealed, when I don't see the face, I don't feel anything. I stop feeling. So there's non-feeling. There's feeling constriction, the gevuras. There's feeling chasadim of compassion. That Hashem is giving us goodness. And what's the highest madrega? The highest madrega is ponim. The highest madrega is not chasadim. The highest madrega is ponim. You know what ponim means? Ponim means that we feel the presence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in our life. We feel the presence of Hashem. And we know that we're not alone. And there's someone that cares for us. It's not chasadim. It's not chesed. And certainly not gevuras. But the ponim, the relationship, I'm trying to make this more muchshas. Shlomo always bothers me. I should make it more muchshas. I can see already you say, you don't have to say with your words. Pshat is, there's, let's say there's a marriage. A lot of, maybe some of the Chevra are not married, but for the Chevra that are married, those are not married should become Chassanim, Be'ez Hashem. With the endlessly richtige Zivugim, Kiyadua. So sometimes, God forbid, it's possible to be tigra. That's left. That's the left side. Some strife. And sometimes you're doing all the right things. It's all chassadim. You're doing all the things. You're providing, and you're doing the right thing, and you're a good husband, you're a good wife, you're doing all the right chassadim. But there's something missing. And what's missing? Missing is that you're not having a panim relationship. And a panim relationship doesn't mean that I'm doing for you everything that has to be done. Because when I do something that has to be done, it could be chassadim. I'm a good provider. Panim means I'm there for you. I'm seeing you. And to be seen, to be seen by the Eibusher, and to experience the sense of being seen, that's panim. That's higher than you mean. It's higher. It's the highest thing. So Avinu Malkeinu is Avinu, it's chesed, it's chesed. It's Avarachman, the Eibusher is a Rachman, a Father that gives us Rachmanos. Malkeinu's din, Gevura, a Melech, Ema. You need Ema for a Melech. You need awe. It's chesed. Avinu is Malkeinu, but then there's Elon Melech Alata, which is higher than Avinu Malkeinu. Elon Melech Alata means, and you know what I really have? Not that you're Avinu, and not you're the Malkeinu. Elon Alata. You. That's what I have. And when I have you, and I know that you're with me, it's higher than Avinu and it's higher than Malkeinu. That's the real panim. This is what we really... I once heard years ago, someone said that... why is the Rebbeinu Shalom called the Eibishter? Why is it called the Eibishter? It's the Eibishter. The Eibishter means someone that's like... that's Aiden. Someone who's up. What's up? Eibishter up? Eibishter up. It's not down. What's up? If you ever live in Brooklyn, or if you ever live in like an apartment, and you have your neighbor walking on top of you, that's the Eibishter. It's not, there's someone in your apartment that's walking around, and you hear them. You know they're there. You can't see it. You don't see anything. But you know they're listening. They know exactly what's going on in your apartment. Eibishter's the Eibishter. Huh?
Sometimes they bang with a broom.
Yeah, sometimes they bang with a broom. Whatever, it depends where they are. Pshat is, Eibishter's the Eibishter. Eibishter doesn't mean that Eibishter's removed. Eibishter's like the upstairs apartment. Sometimes you hear a broom taka, sometimes a gvura, sometimes chsadim, things come falling down. But our lives is living, it's a moras machpela. It's machpela. If you learn some of the Torah this week, it's machpela, it's the hay and the hay. There's two dagas. There's always the daga you're living in, there's always the daga that's right above you. That's what we want. We want Ata. We want to feel it. We want to know that we're in it. And we feel the Eibusher's presence. Lav dafka in the lows, lav dafka in the highs. Chodesh KISLEV, the month of KISLEV, it's called Kufas Teves. In Chodesh KISLEV there's Kufas Teves. Kufas Teves means is the equinox. It's the winter solstice. You know what that is? You know when they change the clock. I don't know. Maybe some people have this hargosha. When they change the clock, it starts getting shorter. Shabbos, you know, there's like certain lachats. Shabbos is 4:11. Gets earlier and earlier. And then all of a sudden it starts getting later. It's okay, fine. It's a little more menucha in Erev Shabbos. You familiar with this sensation? There's two Shabbosim in the year. In the winter, also in the summer. The summer shouldn't get. There's two Shabbosim in the winter. That the time it doesn't move. You look at the thing. 4:11. 4:11. What's 4:11? 4:11. What do you do when it's 4:11 and 4:11? If it's going down, you feel gvuras. If it's going up, you feel chsadim. When it's not moving, what do you do? Most people can relate to life if you're with somebody, if you're feeling chesadim, givaldik. You're feeling gvuras, at least you're feeling. It's garnished. Not fair. Two people sitting. This is very hard. It's very hard to be in this. It can be either oiriv or it can be panim al panim. You know, when you're with somebody, you're driving in a car. It could be a good chaver. And you come into the car, you're sitting alone, because the car is an example, but let's say there's nothing to be in a car. And you're sitting with someone, the person's right next to you, and it's quiet. It's quiet, no one's talking. No one's arguing, there's no gvuras, there's no chesadim. No good argument, no good conversation, no bad conversation. Just sitting. Sit still. Two things can be happening now. Either it's mamish oiriv, understand? Or it's mamish panim al panim.
Yeah.
It can be the highest, it can be the lowest. This is the avoid of Chodesh KISLEV. Is the atzmius connection that we can sit kaviyachol with the kaviyachol in silence, in panim al panim, because ein lanu melech elat, I'm with you. And when we're able to see the clock not move, not up and not down, no movement. Same thing. Once is the panim alive, and there's the yorish and panim elecha, there's a gilui panim, then the chesadim come. Then the chesadim that come from the gilui, this is the Orach Hanukkah. The chesadim, there's chesadim that come from Yamin, from Chesed. And the chesadim that come from, there's gvuras that come from Gvura. But panim is Keser. And when the chesadim come from when the chesadim come from Keser, the kindness comes from the place of panim al panim. It's a different type of chesadim. Because it's your margish, you feel within the chesadim, you're feeling the panim al panim. You're not just seeing the person. You know, some person does someone a favor, or kindness. It's not that panim al panim. A person needs a favor, so you do the person a favor. And you give the chesadim. You're giving. There's oir chesed. There's the gila of oir chesed. The revealing of this light. But sometimes when you're in a panim al panim relationship, and ein lo melech en lo ata, there's ata, and found the place of ata. Vatzi Hashem ineka, mesach shemayim sham ata. When you get to the place of ata, right? Then mitzvah Aleph, then even no matter where you're going, you have that place of ata. Then the chesadim that are drawn down from the place of ata is the chesadim of Oyer Keser. It's pure chesadim. It doesn't come because the chesadim that come down from Keser. Is everyone following? I'm following. Just make sure I don't know because the chesadim that come from Keser is a different type of chesed. There's a chesed that comes. Sometimes it's chesed, sometimes it's gvura. It's dependent. Understand? It's a rotz of a shuv. Sometimes you feel the chesed, sometimes you feel the gvura. There's an opposite. You know, sometimes I'll give you a mashal. Shlami needs a mashal. Sometimes when you have chesadim, when you experience the chesadim of the Eibishter, you're feeling the chesed, you always think, and when is the shoe going to drop? You familiar with this analogy? Yeah. I'm feeling so much chesadim, but it's not shaykh. It's not shaykh. You understand what I'm talking about? Something, it doesn't feel right. It's something's going to happen. And then sometimes, that's the chesadim, that's zohar ampun, it's small chesadim. And there's always there's an opposite. Maybe should continue to give a chesadim, but it's always, it's possible that you get a chesadim or something, it's possible. But when a person receives chesadim upon him, it's no longer conditional. It's not conditional. In Orach Keser, there's no conditions in Orach Keser. pure. Less smaller bayatika. There's no other side. There's no possibility that also the chassadim is going to stop. This is the Orach Chassadim of Chodesh KISLEV. But you have to believe it. You have to believe that the Chassadim that the Eibush is giving us, because it comes from the place of Pnei Hashem, the place of Orach Keser, it comes from the highest place. It's not going to be nifsak. It's not going to stop. If anything, it's going to be moisav hoylech v'oyer. It's going to continue. The story of Hanukkah is mamish the story, yeah? They find a pach, a small little small pachim ketanim, a small little jug of oil. They knew whether it was satuma or because they couldn't get it, that for the next 8 days they're not going to get it. They're not going to have the oil. They're not going to have the shemen. So what do? It's different. This is very big. This is what it is. A big machlekes. Seriously, what happens exactly? But one of the terusim one of the answers is they split into eighths. But they didn't split into eighths thinking that it's not going to last for 8 days. They didn't split into eighths and say, okay, at least we're going to light for 2 seconds each day. They split it in eighth with the emunah that's going to light the whole night. Why? Because they came from a mindset that if the Eibush is showing them this chassadim, it's panim upon him, and it's infinite. It's ein soifius. And if the Eibush gave me this little pach echad, and tak it's only a pach echad, it's nothing. And it can maybe for one night, it can last me the night. But I know that this pach echad needs to last me for a year. So the way I receive this pach echad, that it will last me for a year and last you ein soifius. Because the Chassidish Svarim says that on Chanukah and on Purim, you don't make Havdalah. Now, the simple answer, you don't make Havdalah because it's not a Yom Tov. And the Yom Tov is no Ism Malacha, so you don't have to make Havdalah. But Al Pi Pnimius, the reason why you don't make Havdalah is because it's Nimshach the whole year. There's no Nifsak. It doesn't because En Chanukah it's over. It's Moisev, V'hoylech, V'oyer, and higher and higher. How does a person receive such oil? When a person receives such oil with the kalim, the vessels that receive this oil, it is a way that they understand that it comes from Pnei Hashem, that it comes from Orach Keser. So therefore, it doesn't come back Bala. It's Ein Soifius. So if it's Ein Soifius, the Eibush does me a miracle and took me out of this situation. For how long? Forever. What do you mean for how long? Why are you giving Agbala? The whole reason why the Agbala is if there's the oil, the chassadim is oil ampen. But if the chassadim is from Orach Keser and it's coming from Pnei Hashem, it's moisav ha'oilach avada because the Pnei Hashem, the Eibush wants you. You're in a relationship, so of course he's going to give you. The problem is us. You understand? We're not standing. We're not putting ourselves in the position to be in a panim. We're not showing up correctly. We are showing up. We show up. But we're not showing up correctly. We're showing up with small little faces. With Zohar Ampen. Little small little... Shot glasses. You understand? Give me a l'chaim, give me a shot glass. Take a l'chaim, take a case molly. If you come with a hergish, which is the emes, that it's Pnei Hashem, and the chassadim come from a place of panim, and it's Ein Soif. And if it's Ein Soif, we have to feel that we receive it, that it's Ein Soifius. Don't say, when is it going to change? What's going to happen? Who gave it to you? Where'd you get it from? Where did these chassadim come from? It came from some little kid that they gives you something for a day and then wants to take it away from you? What's Zohar Ampen? What are you doing with the katnas? You know, Zohar means small, right? You're coming from Arech Ampen. You're coming from a big face. Keser. It's Arech. It's Archova. It's Reich. Abundance. When a person receives it, the oil in this way, and it's moist of the oil of oil, and it goes and it goes and it goes. There's begashmias, there's beruchnias. And any madrega that a person reaches, so beruchnias, a person feels like they finally got a breakthrough, they finally reached something. It's okay, so tomorrow I'm going to get back to the place that I got to, the way I was 2 days ago. Now I'm feeling in the right place, but whatever. I'm going to go back to my katnos. Bezot. You know, says it. You. You. That's the problem. Yeah, we have to get out of the way. That's the problem. That's the issue. We have to get out of the way. Sazar Reiche Ebishter. Ebishter wants to give such Chevra bracha. And we're showing up with small little kelechkach, small little glasses, shot glasses. David should help. I shouldn't say David should help, because David wants to help. I'm telling David what to do. We should help ourselves, that we should receive the bracha that David wants to give us, continuously wants to give us. For Bonachai Mezoyne, Kulim Revichen, for everyone befrat, Sech Klal Yisrael, L'chaim, L'chaim. L'chaim, L'chaim.
Godless.
L'chaim, L'chaim.
You have to make keilim.
Ja.
How do you make keilim?
Emunah. You have to live like this. You have to, don't worry.
So the market goes down like this. You double down?
Listen, you have to come from
I'm asking for a friend. For myself too, but
the market is just it's not a real thing. It's just giving you kalim to understand that it can go big.
Als je gezien met de ganze market gaat erop en mensen maken een bunch geld. So it's not the market, that heb ik gerecht.
Not the market. The market gives the nefesh adam awareness that it's shaykh to make a lot of money.
so how do you, what do
You have to open yourself up. Whatever you do, this is your day. Plow the field, I don't know, water grass. Make concerts.
My partner doesn't show up to the meetings.
I made a mistake. The meeting was a month ago. The meeting was a month ago.
Ik ben zo niet alleen. Ik was nog met de belling.
It's thank you.
De laatste 2 wochen heb ik verloren niet meer $1 million in de markt. Als je een brugje gehad moest verliezen, wat voor gemeente moest je omens dorten.
Gezegd, nog zijn Chodesh, that's it, over.
Dus de grootste mensen trainen te zoeken met dat babbelt, ze gaat kracht en idee. Ze mist. Jetzt is echt de tijd eraan te springen, is voor ons getrapt. We beginnen zo van Leuten in de wacht. Ik tracht me weer maar ganz goed. Ik ken het goede stil.
It's fine.
Chevra,
The koiches that a person has, the strength that a person has within them, to be able to become the kli to receive these brachas. My Zayda, Rav Romayor, once came to Fabreingen, and he sat down and started to Fabreingen, and he said, is there any mashka? Is there any, the Russian Chassidim, So they look again. There's a Maisa, by the way, there's a Maisa from the Rayatz and the Fidig Rebbe, Fidig Lubavitch Rebbe, that he was in Moscow, and he was Fabreingen once with the Chassidim, before he was a Rebbe, and he asked if anyone has mashka. So they said that all the stores are closed. 11 o'clock. So the stores are closed, you can't get it. So he told one of the Chassidim, go outside, maybe you'll find someone. A kitzer, this chassid sees a shikar lying in the street in Moscow. So he comes over to him, he's holding a bottle of mashka. He says, could you sell me this bottle of mashka? You know the mice?
We didn't hear. We had a few weeks ago.
Yeah?
Better.
Yeah. You know the mice?
I promise you most people don't know it.
Yeah, most people don't know.
So he said, this chassid said, I want to buy this bottle of mashka for you. He said, I'm not selling it. He said, how much does the bottle cost? He said, it's 100 ruble. He said, I'll give you 200 ruble. He said, no, I'm not. He said, I'm going to give you 1,000 ruble. The Rebbe wants to Fabreingen. Can't Fabreingen without a bottle of mashka. He said, I'm not selling this bottle of mashka for no matter the price. I'm not selling this mashka. I said, why? What's up with this? He said like this. If you give me 1,000 ruble, what can I do with 1,000? I can buy 10 bottles of mashka. But if I sit with this bottle now and I finish it, the ganz Moskva is mine. I own the whole city. You understand? I can get 10 bottles, but so a kitzer, my Zayda was sitting by Fabreingen, and there was no mashka. They went outside. They didn't. There was no. By the way, the Rayats love this story. By the way, this is kitzer.
Why do you like the story?
We'll talk about it. Because you have to know how to own the whole city. You understand? The ganze mosque, the ganze Sache, the whole thing. Godless. So you're sitting, there was no mashka. So they said, no, you can't find. So you sit like this. By the way, he said something, it's not emes. It's not emes, not mita. It's emes in my Zayda's own koyach hadimian. He said that a beer, a doiv, yeah, hibernates in the winter. Yeah, so what do? They eat the whole summer. They fress. They become very big. It says, and then they hibernate. So, but how do they get their food? Once in a while, they need some food. How do they get food? They're too lazy. They're lying there. It says because they're only fresh. They ate so much in the summer that they take their fingers and they suck their fingers, and the shuman, the fats from their fingers oozes out of their fingers, and they're beside it. This is not a by the way. This is what he said. It's the Moshe.
It's good enough.
He said, a yid, the nimshal is, you think that you need something external to give you koyach. But you should know that everything you have, everything you're looking on the outside is found within you.
Wow.
And if you're able to be moitzes, to draw out, you'll know that all the koyches that you're looking for is within you. That's the nimshal.
So what's the movement from the fingers?
I've likened a bissel the finger. Pshat is like this. Talk about Ein Soifius and Brachas Ein Soifius. There's a Maisa, the famous Maisa of Alter Rebbe. When Alter Rebbe was in prison, they heard that there's a big Chacham, a big wise Jew came into prison. So all the Maskilim and all the Sarim from Russia came to speak to the Alter Rebbe. And one was like a scholar. And he came to the Alter Rebbe. And he asked him, in the beginning of the Torah it says, that after the Chet Tzadas, the Eibusher asked, Adam Ayaka. He said, well, shot, the Eibusher doesn't know where Ayaka. Ayaka means where are you? The Eibusher doesn't know where you are. So Rashi, you know Rashi says, Rashi said, the Konas B'dvarim, like that's the way the Eibusher speaks to where are you, how you doing, what's going on. Alter Rebbe said, Pshat Ayaka means Vu bista. Where are you? Where are you? I know where you. I know you're standing here, you're sitting here. That I know. But where are you? Where are you? Where is the Ayaka? Ayaka is the you, the real you. Eicha Yashua Bodod, the Medrash on Eicha, Medrash Eicha writes that Eicha, Nagdama, is Eicha's Lashon Ayaka. That's the Shaila. Ayaka vu bista. Kol bayar nechi shemea. Vu bista. Where are you? But Ayaka is Gimatria Lamed Vav. On Chanukah, you light Lamed Vav Neres. Right? 1, 2, 3. It's Lamed Vav Neres. Why is Lamed Vav Neres? So the Keach writes, because the Lamed Vav Neres, the 36 candles they light on Chanukah, correspond to the 36 hours that Adam Rishon and Chava were Koydem Achet in Gan Eden. Not Koydem Achet, but they were in Gan Eden. You have the 12 hours of Friday, 24 hours of Shabbos, most of Shabbos Avdallah, they were Be'egosh saw them. So the 36 hours that Adam and Chava were in Gan Eden, that's the 36 oiris that you light on Chanukah. What's those lights? That's oir agonus. Maybe she was gone as this oir. Maybe Marisha was gone as this oir. the 25th word that Rakech writes in the Torah is Oyer, because this refers to the Oyer Agonis of Chafei, Chanu Chafei, and Chafei. The Kislev will be a Gilui of the Oyer Agonis. What's in the Gilui Yinenu? This is what's in the Gilui Yinenu. The Oyer Agonis, the Lamed Vav Oiris, is not something that's outside of you. It's the Pnimius Nafshecha. That's who you are. The Shaila Vayeka is the Shaila is where your Lamed Vav Oiris are. That's the question. When the Eibusha asks Ayeka, which the Eibusha asks continuously, what's the question? The question is, where is your light? Which light? The light that's from Gan Eden. The light that's Koydem Achet. The light that's connected to the Eitz HaChaim. That's Nitzchias. This is your Metzias. This is who you are. You know what primordial means? This is your Metzias. Your Metzias is, your essence is your Shtikalakus. So the Shaila of Ayeka and the Shaila of how do we make ourselves a Kli to receive the bracha of Ponim al Ponim, that the Chsadim that we receive should be from Arach, that the Chsadim should come from Kesed, there should be the Oifen of Arach Ampen, is that we have to reveal that we are connected. We have to reveal the part of ourselves that is in Gan Eden, that is connected to Eitz HaChaim, that is the Lamed of Neiris. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't look like you understand. My head, aber der Head nicht. It's true. It's true. You know how you get to this thing? This is, I'll tell you like this. Because you say trauma, I don't like the word, but you know that's an allergic, that word. You need to find one tiny nekuda of oil. When people are in choshech, they always think that the way to get out of their choshech is to find a lot of oil. I'm down. I'm an oiref. I'm a chsadim. I need a dramatic change in my life. You know, people jump around, they move, they go. You know the people. Those people are constantly jumping. Sometimes physically, sometimes Katan Starum. It's ADHD, DDD, whatever it's called. Katan Starum. Why? Because they're waiting for some dramatic oil that's gonna like, wow, and they're gonna fly. Begashmi is, Beruchni is, whatever, something. And the Nes Chanukah, what's the Nes Chanukah? The Nes Chanukah is that it's a pach, tiny little pach. Nothing, it's for one night. It's for one night, it's just gonna get you through the night. But if you hold on to that little thing that's gonna get you through the night, it's gonna get you through the second night, and the third night, and the fourth night. Because it grows. Because ma'at ur doichahar b'choshech. You just need ma'at. Kelim reichim al tamiti. Just a tiny little bit of light. Hold on to that little light. That little nekuda that's beyond all the blockages. And beyond all the... Where does that... You know, if you can't find in yourself, okay, I see people are not, they're having a hard time. You have an einikel? Yeah? Whoever knows, whoever's einiklach, what's einiklach? You ever look at your little child, and all of a sudden there's something so pure about you, not about the child. The child is sure pure. The child is pure. But when you look at a child, you know, it says that the big tzaddikim, the Baal Shem, and all Chassidish rabbis, they used to love little children. Why? The Baal Shem once said, the reason why he loves little children, because they're closer to the ground. They're closer to the, they're They grow out of the ground. The people that shoot up. These tall people. Little tiny people, like walking next to the ground. But when you look at a child, the aura that you see in the child reflects back into you. You can't help it. You know what I'm talking about? The certain sense of the certain pure and innocence and purity before all the craziness that happened in life. And you're in Gan Eden, and you look at the child, and when you look at the child, that brings you that little piece of Gan Eden back to you. For that moment. Take that moment and say, you know what? I have a shtickle Gan Eden within me also. And if I can just hold on to that piece of Gan Eden a little bit longer, hold on to it for a minute, even when the child disappears. That's why I reclaim my purity. I reclaim that pure innocence, that place where it's panim al panim. It's before the whole story. It's the glimmer in the eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Shashui HaMelech Batzmusei. The David says, there's going to be a guy or a woman. That's so special. And then you mess up your whole life. I understand. But that moment that there was that hope. The David said, what a beautiful neshama this person is going to be. That Shashui HaMelech Batzmusei. I told you already, the David HaMelech writes, that's the first laugh. David should laugh kaviyachol. The Shashui HaMelech gave David like a joy. What a crazy guy. This is unbelievable. This person's unbelievable. That Shashui HaMelech Batzmusei, touch into that. Hold that for a second. And Mahazig Gedolim Alaktanim, once you hold on to the Gedolim, you're able to hold into the Gadlus for a second. It's lahazes, so that lichtik. The ketanim also become lichtik. All the small things, all the constrictions, all the hard stuff in life, I get it. All the things that happen. And we hold on to that light, we hold on to that nekuda, the pach, that small little pach and ketanim. And we're able to hold on to that little light. That's godless. That's the moment of godless. That's the moment that's before the chet, before anything went wrong. That's the Shaila Vayeka. That's the Shaila Vayeka. The Ebisha Shaila that the Ebisha asks us constantly is, where's your light? I know what you're doing. I know you're busy. I know you're doing amazing things. Where's that little, remember that little pure thing? Where's that little purity? This is the avodah of Chodesh KISLEV. Yeah.
How do you get to that?
The Maisa is, they say about the Baal Shem. Baal Shem HaKadosh, it's a school to say it was Maisa and the Baal Shem. It's a school of alle Sachen. I love Dafkes, the Rishon said. Love Dafke the Baal Shem, love Dafke Matzah Shabbos, love Dafke is only a school for Parnasa. It's a school of always, for all tzaddikim, for all brachas. Sicher? Was für Scheide? Baal Shem HaKadosh once came to his house. Came to our house. And it was Taka Matzah Shabbos. It was Taka Matzah Shabbos and Taka the Baal Shem. And there's a minig Chassidim, you should know this by the way. There's not this minig of Baal Shem. And on Matzah Shabbos you have to make sure the house is very lit. A lot of people I know, Matzah Shabbos, they keep the lights on the whole Shabbos. And the Matzah Shabbos they're busy turning off lights. You should know that a minig of Baal Shem, Matzah Shabbos, you should turn on lights. You should make sure you should be makbid to turn more lights on. Lichtig. Matzah Shabbos lichtig.
The light candles also?
Yeah, the candles, whatever, but today even lights. Just to make sure the house is even more lit than always. So you can keep a light closed on Shabbos, and the Matzah Shabbos turn it on. Matzah Shabbos should be lichtig. So Baal Shem came to his house. The Chassidim was sitting around, And they were looking, they couldn't find candles. And the Baal Shem there was a big akpad, and the Baal Shem loved candles, especially on Shabbos, it would be lichtig. But there's no candles. He came in, and the Talmid Baal Shem told him that we can't find candles. It was the middle of the winter. It was probably like now, in Russia it's the middle of the winter now. He said, go out to the roof, there's icicles that are hanging. Bring the icicles, shtel the icicles, put the icicles on the table like candles, and light the icicles. V'kacha, they lit the icicles, and it was light. The Alter Rebbe said in this Maisa that was the avodah of Baal Shem. To take even that's something that's ice, cold, and to bring light. So, what's colder than trauma? What's colder than a stuck heart? When you're stuck, when you feel pana la'orev, when you feel hasta pana. And if you can take that, in there, in the coldness, in the icicles, in the ice. This is a Messiah from the Baal Shem. That if you light the icicle, if you light the ice, it's going to burn. It's going to burn, you'll see, it's going to burn. You don't believe it. You say, I'm ice, I'm cold, it's not shaykh, I'm so cut off, it's not possible. This is the Messiah from the Baal Shem.
Where do you find the light? When you're already messed up.
You're the light. There's a little. Look at a child. Find the light. Look at your grandchild. Look at your child. Or find someone that can see the light within you. Find someone that can see the light. There you go. Now you have the light. There you go. Everyone can find the light. This is Hanukkah. It's gone. It's gone. Sometimes it's hidden. But you find the light. It's very lichtig. You can light the icicles. And then that little light flames up. And that's the Kli Ein Sof, because then all of a sudden you start thinking that it's not Bahagbola. There's no Misha Omar. Doesn't matter. Shema v'yadlik, Choymitz v'yadlik. Doesn't matter. Bicycle, stock market, Palantir, skate dog. It's going to fly. The stock market is going to fly. But it's going to go up anyways. No, but it's going to go up anyways. Up and down is shtigay, but it's going to go up. The kitzur is, so it's good. Believe it. Connect it, because that's the emes. The Eibusher it's not even the of. It's not Avinu, it's not Malkeinu, it's Otto. It's Otto. You have a child, a little child. When they become older, it's already more complicated. You're talking about a little child, a little baby. You look at the baby, you have a little child, a grandchild. All you want to give this child is pure, is everything. You want to give the child the world. So this is the Kol Sheken, the Eibusher. L'chaim Eden, l'chaim, we should light our fire. L'chaim.
Says the or is the 25th word.
Rekeach.
Oh
Rachamecha ve'yamerachei Giloi samu chasudechu Gimei olam Gimei olam Gimei olam Gimei olam Atoy vatoy vatoy Giloi cholu Rachamecha ve'yamerachei Giloi samu chasudechu Gimei olam Gimei olam Hashem,
Das ist Wasser. L'chaim, l'chaim. Oh. Trink aus. L'chaim. Amen. L'chaim. Die Simcha Seitzeu, the key to all the breaking up of all the Agbolas is joy, and more joy. In general, for you think that the way to metaken there should be metakas agvuras, sweeten the judgments. Metakas agvuras is makabel ba'ava. You accept things with love, but the deeper truth is that it's makabel ba'ava b'simcha. Because the oir leki, it's not only that, but the oir itself is ava, but it's also simcha. We have to make sure that we avoid the simcha should be always. Avoid of joy. It's avoid them. I saw a story this morning, but I'll tell it to you anyways. The mice is that Malka Chernobyl once came to one of his chassidim, and the chassid was he was a goisus. He was about to leave this world, and he saw that he was crying. The seed was crying. So Malka Chernobyl asked him, "Why are you crying?" So I'm crying. This is the mice, the way it's printed. Chernobyl is what's the eerste zaak? We starts eenmaal. It's a big that you die once. So ich starb 100 Mal a Tag. And I die 100 times a day. This is the mice. It's gedrukt. This is the mice. There's another Maisa, maybe you can understand this story through another story. Someone came to the Baal Shem, and Ben Melach brings it down. He had his anacle over here left. That someone came and said to him, to explain him what was the godless of the Baal Shem. So he told the person to hold my hand and close his eyes. Close your eyes, I'm going to show you. And he had a vision. And he saw the Baal Shem standing on top of a mountain. And the Baal Shem screamed, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. He threw himself off the mountain. And it was, it wasn't a cliff. It was a mountain. So, you get hit. Bounced. He bounced, and he bounced, and his heat was like, it was frightening. You see the Baal Shem bouncing down the mountain, and when he finally falls on the mountain, I'm going to tell you right now. When he falls on the mountain, off the mountain, he lands, he implodes, he breaks apart, and there's millions of little Baal Shem Tovs. It's the Maisa. And he wakes up. So that was Alvei Baal Shem. Yeah, he was right. It's repeated Bishmai. No, we gave him a vision. He gave him a vision to understand Alvei Baal Shem. Let's pshat. Let's make this. Pshat is that up until the Baal Shem, and the Baal Shem went to Messias Nefesh for this, in order to become something, to get out of your grobkeit, your coarseness of the body and the nefesh habahamis and the yitzhar, whatever you want to call that, a person had to fight with themselves, or through fasting, or through sigufim, roll in the snow. It was an avodah to. You want to break the body. Why do you want to break the body? Because you want to become Ein Sof. You want to connect to the neshama. Your guf, your body, always wants. I don't know what your body wants. What does it want? You know. Everyone knows what the body wants. And you want to become something so more, and you have such hard. You're schlepping along such luggage. You want to fly, and you want to be. Your body is schlepping you. It has to go here. It has to do this. It has to eat. It has to sleep. You understand what I'm saying? So you want to go. You want to transcend it. You want to get over the body. You want to. But the derech Baal Shem, derech Hasidus, was that the gilui of Elokus, the gilui of the Ein Sof, the atzmistic gilui of the Ein Sof, is dafke in the body. I said before, there's a difference between ponim and chsadim. Chesed is zohar amtim. Ponim is Ein Sof. If our chibut HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the connection to the Eibishter, is through giluyim, meaning revealed chsadim on our end, revealed avavira, so the avavira is small. And because it's small, you want to become Ein Sof, so you have to do something extraordinary to break, to become Ein Sofius. But where is the relationship of Panim upon him? Where is, it's not Chilasim B'Seifim B'Seifim B'N Chilasim. Where is the Giloi Atzmos of the Panim? The Giloi Atzmos of the Panim is Dafke in the Tachten. Is Dafke in the lowest. Because Ein Sof is Ilul V'Olul, it's cause and effect. So you have a higher Madrega of Ein Sof, a lower Madrega of Ein Sof, lower. You have Gvura comes from Chesed, and Chesed comes from Das, and Das comes from Bid. It's Magdaga. So this is one thing, this is the next thing, the next thing. It's all Ilul V'Olul. What's the only thing in this world that's not Ilul V'Olul? Gashmius. Physicality is not Ilul V'Olul. Can be Ilul V'Olul. You can't take Ruchnius and reduce it to make Gashmius. You can take ruchni, so you can make it more grub, but to get a table, yeah, you can't get from ruchni to gashmi. You got the idea? Ruchni is oil. In oil, you can have levels of oil, and according to the level of oil, it could be more dense, but you can't take oil and make it a kli. The definition of oil, that it's oil. The definition of kli is makabels.
You
Kli.
could make from a kli oil.
That's pshat. What's good? So pshat is like this. So this is the Arizal last Shabbos. This is not a Shabbos in terms of Chassidus. The Arizal last. How did the Kalim come? So it's bahakah. It's Ur Yosha and Ur Chayzer. I should get exactly how it works, but it's like if you have a light from this direction and a light from this direction, and they're both moving in the same place. So here's the Ur Yosha moving. The Ur Chayzer is bahakah. It's coming backwards, and it's like congealing, and that's what the Keli is created. So there he writes that the Keli is a chibur from Ur Yosha and Ur Chayzer when they're in clash.
The world is created.
Yeah, wow, that's cool. So that's the kli.
That's how we get matter.
It's matter, correct. It's kli, the keli.
Matter is kalavod.
Matter, energy, matter. Yeah, correct. It's oy chayzen, oy osher that became.
The question was, how do we get the matter?
The Baal Shem says like this: Atzmus, which means the boyer, the ponim. The ponim of Kaviyachol is mitziyusei matzmusa. It created itself. The Ein Sof is a giloy of atzmus. So you have atzmus, let's say called the moir, the source, and the source reveals light, and the light is this person's ak, the matzilus, yeah. So this is badroga. What's the only thing that mitziyusei matzmusa? The boyer. It's Yisum created itself. It's not totally in something else. It's not ilvol. It is the thing. Where do we see in the entire Nivra, an entire structure, we'll say the Ishtalshalas, where do we see something that says Mitziyusim Atzmusay? This world. Anyone that's an atheist says Mitziyusim Atzmusay. There's no bar. Mitziyusim Atzmusay. So the Giloy of Atzmus is Dafka the Tachton. That's the ponim. So Torah Chassidus reveals that the highest, deepest thing that you can do is a mitzvah, something begashmis. If you're in a relationship, we'll go back to the relationship where Shlomi needs to make sure it's understood. If you're in a relationship and you tell your spouse or your child or your friend or your coworker, say, I love you. Okay. I'll do an ish, maybe. But if you do something for them, that's as about to love, then it's amis. That's atzmius. Then I know you care. You can tell me very nice things that make me feel good. It's not atzmius. Atzmius is another gashmi. When I do something gashmi, it's atzmi. Yeah. So what's Pshat Baal Shem? Baal Shem came along and said like this: I'm going to throw myself off the cliff. I'm going to do all this bittul of my goof. So it should be mizgal in this world that every yid is a Baal Shem. I'm going to do the heavy lifting. I'm going to jump off the cliff. So you, me, and everyone sitting around this table, all Seich Klal Yisrael, should recognize that we're a little tiny Baal Shem. You know, it's a hologram. That each shtickle is a whole Baal Shem. But we're the Baal Shem that already did the work. The Baal Shem had to jump off the roof, jump off the table, and bang and push and jump and knock and hack until he gets to the bottom. We received the little oil of the Baal Shem encapsulated. There's nothing hard. There's no knocking. There's no knocking. We got the full thing. You're not following?
He needs another example.
Pshat is that the Baal Shem Mitziyusim Atzmusay means, what does it mean? It says that it creates itself. Let's say you have a beam of light. I'll give you a marshal. You have a beam of light. every nekuda in the beam of light recognizes that it comes from the previous nekuda. That's the definition of a beam. This, wherever you stop the beam, that point recognizes that it comes from before. So Atzilus recognizes Ak, and Ak recognizes Akudim, and Akudim is Nikudim. Everything recognizes something that comes before. Where we find something that doesn't say, I come from before, I come from myself. Boire, Atzilus, and Gashmias. So Dafka, where do you...
Gashmias comes from something.
From Atzilus.
Where does matter come
From Atzilus. You understand?
Because that's how it's nicker?
The
Because that's
bitui, the revelation of Atzilus is in Gashmias. Yeah, where you see it. Where do you see this nekuda in all the Seder Shtalshlos that something says Am Atzilus? Gashmias. This is the Yesod Teres Chassidus. This is the Yesod Teres Chassidus. 101. This is the whole thing. Everything else is already, because of that, there's Ashkacha Pratas, and because of that, a person has to be b'simcha, and because of that, a person has to live with oil. It's all the nekudas. But the nekuda is, once you recognize that it's it, here, right here. All the doyers that were jumping off the roof, and knocking around, and Yezedas that were fasting, and they were oivdim, and it's all good zachen. It's all good things, but they all did this, so we should get here. And when we're here, it's landed already. We're a little, what's our way to recognize it? It's wake up.
This is the Rebbe saying all night.
That's it. Just wake up. Just recognize that you're a shtickle bal shem. That you have the oil of the Eragonos, and you have godless. And any type of avoid that you have is not creating your godless, but revealing that you are godless. His skafia, his hapre, all these avoidas, the real avoida. Avoida is not to make you great. You're great. You're born great. You're born already. Lacher Gila Teres of Hashem, Gila Teres Atzmus. You inherit the whole package. You don't relieve it. Okay, so do the avoida to take away the kisser, to take away the hiddenness. The hester. KISLEV is the case of Lamed Vov. The hester.
How we believe it, we need that avoida.
That's it. That's the avoida.
Mein etwas seht, was sehr schwer. In unsere Augen seht es like a bad thing, a schwere Sache. Wieso kijkt man das und... Es ist sicher vergeht, but wieso kijkt man das und... This is what we're struggling over.
Verstehe? You have to become things ba'ava, which is easy, because you say the Eibusha loves it, so I'm come ba'ava. Simcha. And simcha is this is the hard part. That not only you should be simcha, you should be, there's a lashon from the Toldos. I got exactly the lashon I said, the Baal Shem once said in Yiddish, Naf kushin the tzaras.
Wow.
You have to kiss your hardships. You have to kiss it.
This answers everything.
When you kiss it, it's not just you kissing it because it's avoided to kiss it.
Yod Kaiska.
Yod kiss. Kiss Lamed Vav. Kiss. You have to kiss the Lamed Vav. Exactly. So avoid is on the shikin. Avoid is on the shikin. L'chaim, going to a gewaltige Mann, Chodesh KISLEV, Chodesh Agula.
KISLEV. But not just the kiss, from the left, from the heart.
It's a long one. Megala is in the Kes Lamed Vav. L'chaim. L'chaim. Was machst du? Ich verstehe noch, so massiv.
I learned this, the last piece from the Torah where it explains the mission of the Baraisa.
Oh yeah, this is the last.
It came to my head, and that's why the Shama says Poiches v'hoilach, because you shouldn't get too much meaning of the physical candles.
Oh, you should be voicing.
And then you said also now that they put in the candles because they believe. So you that's the reason. The best one is Ma'ator Yosef said, I'm Ma'ator. So we leave for Chanukah, we leave one candle, but it's on you. How you gonna walk away from Chanukah? With 8, you walk away from 1.
Thank
Gewoon nog geld, ze kent draaien, water zijn best. Zal het ze laten oplossen.
Water komen.
To make a tikkun.
What? Where are you?
I was thinking, Rav Pinson, that at the core level, I have this metaphor that on the phenomenology of our perception, on a certain level, right? We each act as the main character of our movie. We have the main characters, the supporting cast, and then the extras. So what happens in life on a certain level is that this movie that we're all living in is living your movie, and that the roles and the cast is constantly adjusting on a certain level. So I spoke to Shlomo a little bit about it. I was feeling on a certain level like my movie, on a certain level, I feel like I'm wondering in your movie of me, what am I in your movie?
passion.